Hey everyone, I'm coming at you. Woo! I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm coming at you with some excitement. So it's your boy Puermero, but I'm bringing to you and presenting to y'all, and hopefully y'all can show this person some love. So my buddy Dominic, finally got the opportunity to sit down, chill out with him. I did 2 times. I got 2 different times to sit down with him. So I'm gonna have this one here, and then I'm gonna have another one drop later of Chillin With Puermero with my buddy Dominic. Now in this one, unfortunately, some audio situation happened in the very beginning of sitting down with him and talking. Something happened with the mic and some other parts, and so I was going to try to touch bases on a few things that had happened to him. So what I'm going to do, though, instead of just telling y'all, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of his VODs from his TikTok and let that speak for itself on what has happened to the one and only Dominic Middleton. Check it out.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome back to another TikTok from your boy Dom here. And today I'm going to be taking you guys to my favorite comic shop here in Memphis, Comics and Collectibles, located in East Memphis on Poplar Avenue. You guys should give them a visit. But as you guys can see here, this is a pretty huge store here. Has all type of comics ranging from Marvel, DC, Image, independent comics. Name them, they have it. So of course you got your comics, your graphic novels, and of course you got your collectibles here that people collect, and they are pretty amazing. But I'm going to tell y'all the real reason why I'm here at Comics and Collectibles today is because I am on a Marvel cover. That is me as Captain America on Captain America Iron Man issue number 4. And of course, I had to buy multiple copies of these. But I'm going to tell you more about this coming up. Alright, here it is. Captain America Iron Man issue number 4 variant edition. Black History Month variant edition by Joshua Swaby, featuring your boy on the cover. It's Captain America. I still can't believe that I am actually saying this. I still can't believe that is actually me on the cover. That is actually me as Captain America on a Marvel cover. But this is also surreal to me. I mean, this is honestly a dream come true. This is a dream come true to say that I am on a Marvel cover. I mean, that's all I can say about it. I'm literally speechless with this. Literally speechless. And really all the thanks goes to my friend Sway, who did this amazing cover. Check out the rest of his work as well too. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. I'll put in this video somewhere on the screen. Check out his work. He does amazing work. One of the best artists that I know, possibly the best artist that I know. But yeah, all credit goes to Sway here. Yeah, this is me. This is Captain America on the Marvel cover. Dream come true. That's it. I'm gonna go cry some more about this. So I'll happened again. I'm on the Marvel cover. Yeah. That's me. Right there. That's Captain America. Again. Man, it still feels surreal. I'm still feeling surreal from the first one from last year. And oh man, it's a huge blessing, and I literally cannot thank my friend Joshua Swaby, aka Sway, who is the artist of this variant cover of Avengers number 6. And it's a current run going on right now. It is really an awesome run. But yeah, I just can't believe I'm on another Marvel cover again. I have to thank him for it. So Sway, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was on a Marvel cover once. I really wasn't expecting to be on a Marvel cover again. Sorry for the horns honking. But yeah, like I said, I'm just like super blessed to be, be involved with this again. And, second time around, first time around I was solo, but this time around I shared with some wonderful teammates of mine like Black Panther here, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Thor, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man. So, yeah, I get shared with my wonderful teammates, which is awesome. And yeah, man, I'm just incredibly grateful for this. Not only am I incredibly grateful for this, self plug out there, it is my video, of course. I'm partnering with Memphis's own Batcave Treasures and Toys. I will be doing a comic book signing, which is like weird to say out loud for myself because I'm literally just amused for Captain America. But I'll be doing a comic signing here in Memphis at Batcave Treasures and Toys on October 21st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll probably put the address info in the comments. But yeah, I'm on another Marvel comic, and I'm going to be doing a comic signing, which is also weird to me, but I am incredibly grateful and blessed to have this. I mean, oh my God, literally Captain America again. So I'm technically a part of the Marvel universe. So yeah, man, it's surreal, and like I said, I'm incredibly blessed for it. I literally can't say how blessed I am to like have that kind of opportunity. So again, a special thanks to my friend Sway for doing this. Sway, I love you. If you're watching this, I hope you're enjoying your time at New York Comic Con this weekend. Hey, I can't be there. I wish I was there, but we'll link up again soon. So I love you, bro. I love you for this. And again, October 21st, Batcave Treasures and Toys in Memphis, Tennessee. I will be doing a signing of this comic here. And yeah, man, I am incredibly grateful for this. So appreciate y'all for watching this if you're watching, and thank y'all. Have a great night or a great day whenever you're watching this. Just be great. That's all.
You know who made it. You know who made it.
Oh yeah. So as you can see, woo, that is otherworldly in my eyes. Like it's so fantastic to see someone like Dom, such a great soul that I have met through cosplay, and see that happen to him. But not once, not just once, on a cover of official Marvel magazine, like Marvel Comics, book. Woo! It happened twice. Oh man! So yeah, when y'all get a chance, I'm gonna drop all the information in the description below. Go show Dom some love. Go show the artist some love. Anybody that can, show that Batcave some love. That comic book store is legit. And anybody that's near the Tennessee area, as you saw, he dropped the address to that comic book shop. Batcave Treasures and Toys. Go over there and try to show them some love too. And without further ado, let's get into the podcast.
Was like walking around in the living room, just looking at like family pictures and all that. And Vision comes in. He's wearing like, all black. I think he was wearing all black, but he was wearing like a black turtleneck basically. And so he did like this little pose talking to Wanda and whatnot. And Black Twitter just like ran with it and started like making memes out of it, just adding like gold chains and gold teeth. Basically kind of like making Vision black, basically. And Paul, he gets around in the Twitter world sometimes, and he found the memes from it, and he absolutely loved it. And so once I saw that he was going to be at Dragon Con, and Dragon Con was a last minute thing for me this year,
Was it?
because one of my best friends was supposed to visit here in Memphis, but his plans fell through, and I was just like, I can go to Dragon Con now and not leave him behind. So I like had booked everything that I could. Found a friend who could help me do the makeup because I did not do that makeup myself. Somebody else had to do it. And met Paul, got my picture with him, got autograph, and he just absolutely loved it. So now he's gonna be at MegaCon now, and which I hate that it's gonna be like super early this year, but I'm gonna try my best to go. If I do decide to go, I'm trying to think: do I want to do Vishon again, or do I want to do just another cosplay? See if he recognizes me from back at Dragon Con. So if I do decide to go, I got some things I got think through.
You're definitely one of very many. There were a lot of people touching on that too, like saying how MegaCon was going to be early. Like I know for me, it was like. I'm just one of those, like, the sooner the better because I want to do it again. But it was very understandable. Like, certain people, like, to try to schedule and all that. I know, though, like, the first things I heard were from vendors. Like, the vendors were like, oh, God dang it, what the heck. But everybody else was like, oh, trying to schedule, like, the hotels and whatnot. Like, that's a pain in the butt.
When I first saw the day, I was just like, well, dang, all my PTO is going to be used up by then. Because my PTO doesn't start back until March. So having it in like late March, early April, that was fine for me. I prefer, like usually it's like late April, early May when they have it.
See, that's the thing too. Like, is it me or like, because when I started wanting to go to MegaCon, I never got a chance to. Mm-hmm. But I never paid attention to the time they would do it. And then when, I want to say it was 2019, I was looking at something, and then I missed out on that. But I can't remember what 2019 was. But it felt like at one point maybe it was strictly the same schedule, and then because of COVID and whatnot, maybe that's why now it's different times. Mm-hmm. Or unless somebody else can correct me. I mean, I never knew what their time frame was because I always thought maybe that's what it was. Maybe I always thought that it was like end of March going into April all the time. Every
Yeah.
time.
So, yeah,
That's what
these
I thought.
past few years have all been different. So 2019, that was my first year going. That was, what was that, like mid-May, I want to say, because I know I went
You know,
after
now
I
to say that,
graduated
yeah,
from college.
mid May. Yeah.
Yeah, so it had to be mid-May. 2020, of course, was COVID. 21, they kept on pushing back days because of COVID, and then they happened to have it in August of 21. And then
Which that's what
22,
I did that.
yeah,
Yeah, I did that. I got my badges to remember me because my memory on
yeah,
certain things suck.
yeah,
So I got
right,
my badges. That one I only did one day of. That was when
yeah,
I was telling you my buddy Tim just came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I'm going to this thing called MegaCon. Do you want to come with me?" And I'm like, "Bro, I've been wanting to do MegaCon since I first heard about it way back when I moved into the Orlando area." And
right,
so that's where I got hooked. Like at first I was still bummed because I was still early stages of dealing with the stuff with my back and all that. And I
mm-hmm,
knew that I wasn't going to be just able to walk around. I can't do all that. I just can't.
yeah,
Like it wasn't there. Like I can't. But luckily through conversations and stuff like that, my one buddy Ray unfortunately had a passing of his pop. Like I want to
mm-hmm,
say almost 8 months prior to this. And he's like, "Well, I got an extra wheelchair if you would like to borrow it." I'm like, "Bet, you sure? Okay." So I went in and got a regular wheelchair, and that was my first time. I just dressed up nice and I rolled around with my bald head, and only a few people were like, "Oh, hey, look, it's Professor. Hey, it's Professor." And I was like, "Cool, cool, cool." And then I said, "You know what? I need to kick it up a notch. You know, like I'm very thankful for having my buddy loan me the chair, but I was like, I got to get my own. So I won't have to
mm-hmm,
bother him again or whatever, which was pretty cool too. I thought I was gonna be tired as heck. I was pretty good. I was rolling around. There was only a few spots where like there was carpeting it was harder to roll, but for the
right,
most part, I was surprised of like I thought I was gonna be sore and stuff. I was good. I was good. I'm thinking maybe because I'm mostly using my upper body to try to get in and out of chairs and stuff like that since my back. So I'm
mm-hmm,
probably just strong enough to worry about like I don't have to worry too much about being tired from a wheelchair. So I got very lucky with that too. But
gotcha.
that's when I said, but I gotta kick it up. I gotta kick it up. So once income tax came around next year, I went searching on I hit up I think I went straight to eBay. Yeah, I went
Okay,
straight to eBay. And I clicked make sure it said local, like local pickup. And I was like, I wonder if someone's out there with something. And sure enough, there was one that had something. He was only like not even an hour away from me in a place
mm-hmm,
called Arbandale. I think that's how you say it, Arbandale. And I said, all right, so I'm going to try to get that. And it was for $120. So the dude said the only thing I could see is that the batteries just don't want to charge past 3/4 of the charge. And I said, all right, so that means these batteries are pretty much shot. It just need new batteries. So I was like, I'm game for that. So then I'm like, all right, so how am I going to carry this thing? I was like, well, I'm not going to just put it with ramps in the back of my truck. I don't want to do that because that's just like too much of a hassle, and those ramps ain't light and they ain't cheap either. So I was looking around, and I found like this cage thing that goes right on the hitch. So I bought one of those. My buddy helped me put it together. We put it in the back of the hitch. Later on, I had when it officially purchased, and then I said, "Hey, I'll be by to pick it up the next day around such time." And luckily, with his help, I got it on. Still the problem I have is the cage's door. When it opens, it's got too much of an incline,
mm-hmm,
and so on its own, it was a pain in the butt to even with a running start. So now that I got you seen how the chair is, I actually have this much more foam sticking past where the wheels are and the support wheels in the front. So I can't just go up. I'll tear the foam up and all that. So I've been using like the ramps that I use to drive the car on to then change oil. So I
mm-hmm.
got those ramps, and then I put the cage door on the ramps, and then that's what gives me the extra help to get it in and out. I also had to do a ramp for the inside of the cage because the foam, the back and the front are so long, I can't close the gate either. So I had to make like a ramp thing to make the front of the chair protrude out the side a little bit more. But it was cool though. I bought that chair, did my first like the bottom piece had some like it was a plastic cover to cover like the batteries and stuff. I took that, painted it yellow, and the part that my feet go on, I painted that yellow, cleaned it up, painted it yellow. That way I have at least something yellow on it. And a decent amount of people understood what I was trying to do. Oh, that's professor. I was like, cool. But it was only a few. So I was like, all right, I gotta kick it up a notch for the following year, right? But so I took advantage of I want to say it was Saturday or Friday of that MegaCon to get with so I don't know if you remember the one gentleman that does the Space Marine suit that's purple and he'll have like speakers
I
in
think
it.
so.
And then he's got his two sons. So he's purple and the two sons, one's like orange, one's like green.
Yeah.
I was like, at first I was like, I didn't want to bother, but at the same time, I need to know. I need to talk to somebody like them. And they just happened to be off to the side. Dad took stuff off, and they're just chilling, eating a sandwich or whatever. And I was like, do you mind if I, pick your brain for a moment? They're like, yeah. They were really cool. They were like, yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm in kind of a desperate need to understand and think about what direction I should go to try to make. I was pointing at a chair. I was like, make this chair look like this. And then I showed them the photograph of the concept of what Professor Xavier's chair that I want to model. And they're like, oh, yeah, you can use the foam we're using on this. Because I was curious about weight. That was the main thing, was weight. And they're like, oh, you can use this foam like this one. You see this, like he was pointing to like a shoulder piece that's like just big. I was like, this is a big piece. But he's like, go ahead and pick it up. And I go pick it up, and it's just light. I'm like, wow, this huge piece is this light? And they're like, yeah, you use that foam there to just make the chair, And I'm like, I bet. And they gave me a few other tips about the heating it so it can seal up, and then you can paint it. Because if not, it'll like absorb paint. So I got a few tips. I'm like, all right, bet. So little by little, I want to say it took me off and on a year, roughly more than a year to get the chair done, and those were someone I really wanted to see Saturday. So I got to pass them on my way from one line to another line, and they were so happy to see that I managed to put the chair. They were like, "Dude, we saw you on the internet, and we wanted to see you and congratulate you, and we're so happy you managed to get that done." And I'm like, "Dude, it wouldn't have been done without y'all. Like, thank you, for your input and some of your knowledge for y'all stuff, because their stuff is just fantastic. Anyways, I mean those Space Marines are they're insanely cool. I believe they have an unfortunate passing in the family, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna get to see them this MegaCon. To be honest, I was just thinking about that. I want to say it was their moms passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, that I might not get a chance to see them this year. I hope they get the chance to show up and be amongst people that were sharing that love. That way they can hopefully they don't like me, like with my pops. When my pops passed, I was kind of not wanting to do nothing.
I get it. I've been in that situation before.
Yeah. Like, one of the things I know I definitely dropped, because realistically there was a few other reasons, but like the only reason I was going to movie theaters was because of Pop. And some of the reasons, like, obviously because of his passing, I don't really want to care for going to a movie theater again. But there's other reasons. Like, it was pretty much a full day event, because unfortunately where I live it's a little sub area south of Kissimmee. And so it's such a drive to get to the nearest movie theater. And then he wanted to do first matinee. He never wanted to do anything else. I'm like, that's cool, But it was one of those things where, okay, we get there, do the first matinee, get out, get a bite to eat, But then to come back down, there's so many people coming down around that time that by the time you look, it's already nighttime when we get home. So it's a full day event just to go see one movie. So part of that with like, I did it because I enjoyed the heck out of seeing Pop, want to see these movies with me, and then to see him just enjoying the fact that he's hanging out with his son and that kind of thing. Like that of course is the main reason I fought through that traffic. But then once he passed, that's it. Like I think I went once because my brother dragged me out to do it. It was to see I think it was a Demon Train. It was like a Demon Train. Demon Slayer anime. It was like that.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. So it was a cool movie, but it was one of those like it was because he literally dragged me out the house that I went and seen it. But other than that, I have no urge. Like no matter how good a movie might look, like I have no urge. I'm the one that I wait for the Blu-ray and then I get my copy. Yeah. I enjoy it at the house. That's it, Plus, I got my house like a theater anyways. I got the 70-inch TV, the surround sound. I got it blazing and all that. I ain't got to worry about hearing people when they eating candy and all that or talking. But yeah, man. Shoot. I tell you what. Now, what out of movies, now I think about the movies, what's coming up that you think you're excited for? Like, is there anything?
Lately, probably the one I can think of off the top of my head would probably be the Marvels, and that's it.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I obviously, you already got these people hating and stuff, but
yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you're always gonna have that. It's
always
that film and Beyonce's concert film that I want to see.
Oh, there's a concert film coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, now
so that comes out late November.
Oh my God, I forgot too. How could I forget? But I forgot. That was another thing. Beyonce looked at you. How was that experience, man? Like I saw some of the videos and I'm like, those videos and those photos do not do it justice, I'm sure, for how much of, like that felt, like that environment and whatnot.
Yeah, because that was also like my first big concert and the second concert in my lifetime. Because I don't go to many concerts. My first one was a freebie that my friend invited me to here in Memphis. It was Tyler the Creator. So my friend had an extra ticket and she invited me out to that. That was an awesome experience. I enjoyed that. This here, I've been wanting to see her like almost my entire life, and just being there, the environment, and with her, excuse me, her last album, that was it was very I gotta put it very it's a tribute to LGBTQ culture,
right?
And seeing everybody just kind of like being themselves in that moment, it was like really awesome to see. Just being free in that moment, like there's like no judgment or anything like that. And I hope that that's portrayed, in the movie coming up. But from my experience, that was probably one of, if not the best day of my life right there.
That's cool.
Because I told everybody I've been saving up money for this for years, just in case if Beyonce ever goes on tour. And because the past few tours, I was in college, I didn't have a car, so there was like no way for me to like try to get down there. But now, since with this one, I have a big boy job, I have a car now, so I kind of have everything together. So I was
this was located really close, right? Or where
yeah, it was in Nashville, so it was about 3 hours from me.
Right, okay. That's
cool. So I literally had I had the money set aside for when she first announced it. I was like, I'm gonna get the ticket that I want and just go about my day.
That's great.
So I literally had like my weekend planned out for that concert, and thank God it was on a Saturday night. So I took that Friday off from work, drove down there Friday morning, got there by the afternoon, explored the city a bit, and then Saturday was just like prepping time. Try to get ready, go get a workout in, get breakfast, go to the museum, go to your spa appointment, and then get ready for the concert.
Oh yeah, I did see
And
stuff for the spa. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
and the
Yeah, it takes work to
adrenaline.
be as pretty as you. I tell you what.
I ain't that pretty now. It was just that day I needed to be like extra pretty.
It's like, I'm gonna see Beyonce. I need to be on my game. Okay.
And walk into the stadium and seeing everybody there, just walking with people, because there's a pedestrian bridge going to Nissan Stadium, and luckily my hotel was close by. So I walked to the stadium from my hotel, seeing everybody like dressed up because it's kind of like a silver theme because that's what everybody.
Oh, okay. I see what you said. Right.
Yeah. Because that's kind of like the theme of the Renaissance tour is silver. So everybody's like decked out in like silver or like really, really awesome outfits. And while walking and seeing everybody's outfits, like my adrenaline is going through the roof. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm really here. I'm really here. I'm
It's
really
happening.
here.
It's gonna
And
happen.
I ran into a few of my friends that I didn't see everybody that I wanted to see, but I got to see a few of my friends there. Got my my VIP merch and all that stuff, which is awesome. And mind you, she came out. The concert was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. She came out at like 8:45, and I get it because not everybody was there at 7 o'clock. But like when like
Okay, I see what
8:30
you're
hit, I think that's when like everybody came, and that's when the sun went down and everything because the sun was still up at 7 o'clock. So I guess she was always waiting for
Probably
for the
that too,
sun to
right?
go
Making
down.
sure everybody was there, and then
Yeah,
and then the sun, yeah,
yeah,
get
and
it a little
then
cooler too, because that sun probably
right.
hitting.
And it wasn't even that bad outside. It was actually a really, really nice day out. Um, and so 8:45 hits. We see the screen come up. Everybody's cheering, smoke coming on the stage and whatnot. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. Then next thing you know, smoke clears and like there she is, like 10 feet in front of me, I want to say. And I'm just like, oh
I
my
know,
God,
right? Because it
it's
felt like
her.
you were just 100% a legit. Because there's VIP and then there's VIP. And I
Yeah.
really felt like you were part of her crew because you
I,
were
I
right
did.
there. You were so there, and I'm like, does he unironically know her?
I know.
Like you right there. Like how did
Like
what?
that's what I'm literally saying in my head. Like my face is just like, in my mind, I'm just like, oh my God, there she is. She's like right there in front of me.
That's
And
awesome.
like, and she's even more beautiful in person too. Let me put that out there.
Especially when she
Um,
walked up, it looked like she legit walked up straight to you and be like, "Yo, what's
I
up?"
think
As she was
so.
singing.
So I will say I did have a sign there. I did make a sign for the
Oh, you
concert.
did have a sign. Oh, okay.
I did have a sign. I'm gonna lie about that. Because before I was just like, you know what? Should I make a sign? I don't know if I should make a sign. And then one of my friends was like, Dom, you are 6'6" in the front row. You are gonna be the first person that she notices. I'm like, yeah, but now I want her
It's
to
like you
notice
go
me a little
stand
bit
out, you
more.
just tall drink of chocolate milk. They don't see you. No, but I
Right.
see what you're saying. It's like, man, screw it.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and make a sign. So I think I'm trying to remember what I said on my sign because I didn't get any pictures of my sign. Um, I said, thanks for making this one of the best nights of my life, Dominic. P.S. can I get a hug or a high five? I was going to shoot my shot to see if I could try to like get some interaction with her or whatnot. See if she could pull me up on the stage.
Hey,
But
it doesn't hurt to try. It don't
doesn't
hurt
hurt to try. It does not hurt to try. But she noticed it because looking back at the video, I didn't notice it. But like while she was walking towards me the first time, she did like something like this. She said like, "Come on," like, and did this towards me. And I didn't realize it until after the concert, looking back at my video, I was just like, "Oh shoot, she's talking to me." Like she's literally talking to me because like I said, P.S. Can I have a hug or a high five? And then she's like, "Come on."
Dang.
So that was pretty awesome.
You were so up in that moment. You were on cloud 9 that you didn't get to see. Oh no. That happens to the best of us. I tell you what, that happens to the best of us.
I made sure like I got it on video too, because I was on the fence like don't record too much, just be in the moment, but then like record so you can remember it.
That's true. Yeah, I can say it's like for something like that. I think I've had like conversations where I do say like, yeah, you don't want to have like the camera out all the time. I can understand like having it at certain moments maybe, but yeah, being in the moment and enjoying it is what's worth it. But it's like you gotta have something there for that extra memory. Yeah. To also share with someone, like if they ask something, hey, how'd it go? Well, here, I'm gonna show you a little something, you know.
Yeah.
At least you got something to prove. You got proof.
That's right.
But yeah, that's amazing. That is so cool. I was always out of that group. I was always more of a Kelly Rowland kind of guy.
Kelly Rowland, yeah.
That was my
my
cup of chocolate milk for me. Like I think she's such a phenomenally beautiful woman. I'm glad she had a great career too. Like I'm just happy both of them have had such a great career. Like it's been so nice.
Yeah,
but that's awesome. Great to get that opportunity to see someone. Like I missed out on one opportunity for me. Like one of my favorite bands, Disturbed. I was in Miami at the time. I was living with my mom in North Miami Beach, and there was a concert that was going to come around. They were going to be featured, and the way things were, it was tight. We had to still work and all that. So I was working with my stepdad at the time. We were doing like a vending company that one of his friends ran. And so we try to map out the whole day real quick. All right, so we hitting these spots. We know we're probably going to need this much soda and all that. So we made sure we knocked everything out. Got out of there, got home, took a shower, went down to South Bay. And we get there, and I'm like, yo, where's my bros? Where's my Disturbed bros? Where's Disturbed? And one guy's like, oh, man, you just missed them by like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh. I was so heartbroken in a way. I was like, oh. And then the closing act was Korn, which I like Korn. I think they were pretty cool, too. So I was like, all right, I'll enjoy the rest of the night, with that. But I'm like, dang, I got to miss out on one of my favorite bands, because I got pretty much every single album. Yeah, I got all the albums they've came out with. I know there was one song that was only digital, and I got that. And then I just got the recent album. Now that I think about it, I want to say I have all their songs on my cell phone. So when I link my phone to the car, it's running nothing but Disturbed. That's how much I technically like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully one of these days I get an opportunity to see that band, talk to David maybe, the lead singer. That'd be pretty cool.
I hope you do too. I'm a manifest it.
Throw it out there in the ether,
Yeah.
But that's like coming to MegaCon. One, like, for example, with James McAvoy, everybody was hyped. Every single person that saw my photograph was like, yo, I think you won the day or whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I'm not trying to get the clout like that. You know what I'm saying? But one person pointed out, man, the only way you'd probably be able to top that is like maybe you got Sir Patrick Ewing. And I'm like,
Right.
yo, Patrick Stewart would be,
Yeah.
that'd be something. And then another person, yeah, but imagine if you got both. I'm like, oh shoot. Both
Right.
James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart? What? So it'd be one of those, like, just the idea of the possibility of Sir Patrick Stewart popping up at MegaCon alone is like a dream. But to think that if they had both, shit. That'd be something I need to make that happen if that were to happen. I need to get another photograph or something. Because I got James to sign my copy of Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
So if Patrick were to show up, I'd guarantee that'd be the thing. I would have him sign the same copy and have both of these actors on there. Oh my God. And then get a photograph? Yeah. What? That'd be such a dream. My Xavier level would be that much higher. You know, it's like, what?
For real.
What? Actually, I was pretty sad too, and everything. There was two things. There was one place up in, like up in the Midwest, up in the North Midwest. There was like this big, beautiful building that it's got a nice old school look, and they were doing like an X-Men thing, where like that's like they're acting like that's the mansion and stuff. And they were,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. They were trying to figure out if I was going to show up, and I'm like, I would love to, but I can't. I mean, that's,
yeah.
You know. Even there was one person that I met in Tampa, and she managed to go because she was doing Storm, and it was Brown Sugar Outlaw, I think is what her handle is.
Okay, yeah, I seen her.
I love her. I love her attitude. She is so cool. Such cool people. And she managed to go. I was like, oh, I'll live vicariously through her.
So, like, I hope I could go that one day because that looked pretty fun.
That building, that place just looks awesome too. It's really beautiful. And then there's the other thing was New York Comic Con.
You know,
that is such a dream right there too. Now, don't get me wrong. I think between those two, between that and Dragon Con, I feel like Dragon Con is even more of a cosplay, I bet, than New York. But I want to hit both. Like, both of those are dreams right now. Like, I feel like that's the step. Like, if I manage to knock out a Dragon Con, and then the next step is, like, I need to try to accomplish a New York Comic Con. But Lord knows when that's going to happen and how.
We're gonna make
sure I hit the lottery or something.
We're gonna make sure it happens soon for you.
Man, that'd be so cool. I mean, it does look complicated.
I will tell you this about New York, because I went twice now. It is overwhelming when you first walk in the Javits Center.
Which that place looks crazy awesome.
It is wonderful, wonderful convention center. But the amount of people there, it is a lot. Not what I mean by a lot, not a lot by when it's like you're like just all up against everybody, but it's
just because how big it is, right?
Right, and it's just so much going on all at once.
There is a lot, and I know you can't cover it all in one day.
You can't.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some of these photographs of some of the peeps I follow, and it just looks so good. It just looks so much fun. Like this one gentleman, I don't know if you know Samir. He's from
I don't think so.
He managed to get a chance to come over to the United States, and he was hanging out. I actually hooked him up with some tickets to go to Universal.
Oh, so, okay.
Like him and his friends were going to do Halloween Horror Nights, but I had asked him, I was like, by any chance, would you want to do some of the regular stuff? He's like, yeah, I would like to, but we ain't got. I was like, trust me, I got you. He's like, what are you talking? And I hooked him up with the tickets, and I'm like, look, I just want to make sure that while you're over here, you have a great time. He's like, dude, you don't have to do that. I'm like, no, I want to do this because you've been someone I followed too for a while. You got the way his cosplays come out are just so rocking. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
badass. And then I come to find out that he had an opportunity to be a judge for their big cosplay contest in New York too. So I'm like, oh man, so he got to hang out with peeps over here for Dragon Con, do all that, do the stuff here in Florida, do some Disney, did some Universal, and then to go and eventually be up in New York to be a judge. I'm like, man, I was so jealous. I was like, can I tag along? Because it was just awesome. And then like his last cosplay was great. It was like one of the angel dudes from the Diablo franchise. Like it just looked
Okay.
so good. So good. I mean, most of his stuff. Like I remember the one time that I first started following was because he did like the God of War Ares, but I think it was a
Mm-hmm.
variation from, if I'm not mistaken, it was from like how not was it League of Legends? It's either League of Legends or the other one. I'm thinking maybe it was like that Smite video game. It's one of these
Mm-hmm.
video games. And like I remember when I first saw him, it was through because there was this girl that I follow for Twitch. Emaru had a cosplay contest, and I happened to be looking at it because I was luckily off that day, and I'm watching it live, and I'm seeing all these fantastic cosplays that signed up,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden his pops up, and I'm like, what? Like it blew so many people out of the water. Like I loved everybody else, but this dude was on a whole nother level. I was like, why? Like I felt like it was unfair in a way for him to submit, but he got in there, and then I started following him ever since, and I kept in touch with him on a few things here and there. Like he didn't get like this last cosplay contest. I actually joined in. The only thing that sucked was because of the way Reddit was. I'd never used Reddit, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it. There was a way for you to kind of put a name, but I guess I didn't see it, and it automatically generated a name for me. So like, it put like complete rabbit and some numbers. So when I popped up and there's like, oh, here's Professor X by Complete Rabbit, I'm like, who the hell's Complete Rabbit? Like, I'm glad I popped up. Don't get me wrong, I'm still happy for that. But I was like, damn it, what did I do? And sure enough, that's what it was. Is that there was it generated a name automatically for me, and I'm like, oh no. I'm hoping that she does another contest again. I would love to just join in again because I'm doing some updates on the chair now, and because I remember on the Thursday that I first ever showed off the yellow chair, there was been like so many people that would just say, "Hey, it'd be cool if you had like a speaker and you had the music going off for the X-Men
Mm-hmm.
theme song." I was like, "That'd be pretty cool. Maybe I'll think about trying to do something." And then, sure enough, Friday, more people said it. I'm like, "Damn, people, maybe I should." Like it just motivated me that much more because everybody kept on, and I was like, "All right." So eventually, I did get something going because I didn't know how I was gonna try to approach it or whatever, but it was like so far. I don't know if you got to see some of the photos in a little video. It was just my one buddy. He came back down from another area to live with me again, and his one computer went to kaput. I mean, it was done. Oh, there goes the computer. But the front of the computer had this grill thing with like a door that you could kind of pop it off and all that. And I'm like, you know what? How about I chop this right here in the middle, and then I'll integrate this piece into the chair. That way I can pop it off and slide a speaker in the back. And sure enough, that's what I got pretty much. I still got to finish it up, but I'm like, yo, and then I bought like this little speaker that supposedly says it's got 20 hours worth of life on the battery.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still haven't test drove it on to find out how long that really is. Because I know if you have it cranked up all the way, and then obviously the hours would diminish. But if I can at least have like a good solid 8 hours of full crank time, like full volume, then I know I'm perfect because a full day of MegaCon would be just right. Because I know I'll
Right.
pause it every once in a while. And then I did already hear it. For it being such a small speaker, it is pretty loud. So I'm like, this is cool. This is cool. This is what I need, you know. And then I also added like a thing that's like, it's almost like what do you call it? The surge protectors.
Yeah.
It's like that, but I got a special one that was like really thin, so I could put it on the inside of the wall, and then on the other side of the foam, I got like a little metal grill that I had from an old from the other computer that my buddy's power supply had, like a little fan thing on top. So I cut that and put it on the other side, so it looked like I actually got a fan on the bottom of the chair. I was so happy. I'm like, yay, things are coming together. So I'm just excited. Like, I got another fan looking thing that I'm gonna put on the other side, and then right now I gotta think about like how I'm gonna carve into it to make it look like this other detail on the chair. So I'm like, dude, I can't wait to like show this off to y'all. What? I can't wait to see what you think. Like,
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm over
I
here just
already
trying to
know.
impress y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still feel like I'm the little fish in the big pond because I look at
Oh,
like
trust me, I do
you.
too.
No, man, you up there because you and everybody else, like, y'all just coming out looking stunning with everything y'all do, and you know you look great. So I still feel like that little fish in the big pond trying to be as close as I can to y'all and style and detail and all of that. You know, that's
No,
my
look,
goal
trust
is to
me.
just be
Trust
along right
me.
there with y'all.
You are my Professor X. I'm gonna tell you that right
I
now. You
appreciate
are
that.
my Professor X for sure.
Yeah, and I've seen a decent amount out there recently, and
Hmm.
so far I've been like, hey, look, it's another fellow Professor X and this and this and that. Like the other one that was really over the top was that one gentleman that had. It looks like he's standing because of the way he's got like the bottom to look like it's actually hovering because it's like he's got like this
Hmm.
curtain type thing that he did where it looks like it's blowing the air to make it look
Uh-huh.
like it's hovering. Oh man, that thing was so elaborate. He's got all these lights and stuff. So like obviously I ain't getting to his level, but I feel like I'm in a good spot too because so far everybody's got their own style. So I'm not
Right.
matching anybody and nobody's matching me. And so I like that we all have our own flavor going on. And I'm
Hmm.
glad that like it so far feels like I'm the only one that's going the cartoon route
Yeah.
because of the way that style of the chair was, and I'm aiming for
Hmm.
that style. So I'm very fortunate that it's not like I wouldn't mind somebody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just feeling like it's pretty cool to be a little more of like a rarity. So at least
Right.
that part
Hmm.
feels great. It does feel great. I mean, I would like to encourage anybody else to do it, of course, but it's really nice right now to be like, oh, I'm the only '90s cartoon Professor X and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I just showed off the shirt that I got because there was a statue I seen, and then I remember there was an animated episode that had Professor X in like kind of like the olive green military outfit,
Hmm.
and he
Yeah.
had the X patches on him. So I finally came across someone that had a shirt that looked perfect. And they didn't have my size in stock for a while. They finally did, and I went in and got it. And I already had this one young lady from Etsy that made the emblems to just like you iron it and that's it. Which I ironed it and sewed it just for extra support, make sure it don't go nowhere. And so I
Hmm.
had bought 3 from her because I did one casual shirt because I know Professor X had a regular black shirt with the X on it. So I did that for like Friday at Tampa Bay Comic Con when I did that. So I was like the
Hmm.
casual Professor X. So I ain't got to worry about the suit all the time. And then this
Yeah.
time I got now the military one. It looked like I'm going out into the field. So far I'm
Hmm.
leaning towards I might show that shirt off Friday because Saturday is going to be the cerebral helmet that I made. So
Ah,
they do
nice.
that. So it's like 2 days I'm debuting like different setups. So I'm
Gotcha.
just happy that I got something to lean on and try to be a little different and not be the same all the time, hopefully.
Right, right.
Like different combos with this jacket and that tie, which eventually I'm probably gonna hit up the Goodwill and see what kind of ties they got. See, like, maybe they can get me some extra flavors on ties and stuff.
There you go.
Is there like a new character or an existing character that you might feel like you coming around that you haven't done that you might want to try to knock out yourself?
I know for sure I want to do Black Panther one day. I just need to find like a good suit.
Right.
I want to do Fox McCloud from the Star Fox series.
Nice. Okay.
Who else do I want to do?
I think the only time I played that game was 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
There's been some really nice Doctor Stranges out there too. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do one of the versions from this past movie, into Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
And I
Oh, you
think
know what would be cool too? Because I haven't seen
What's
one yet. If you manage to do like the evil looking Doctor Strange.
Oh no, I've seen a couple good ones down in Dragon Con last
Really?
year.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
see
he
it.
did.
I haven't seen
He
it.
did an excellent job with it.
I saw
did
there
an
was one guy,
excellent
and I missed him too. Right along, I missed you. Was someone doing the undead looking Doctor Strange on Saturday's?
Yeah.
Con. That one looked
And-
fantastic. The way he had like the cloak with the dead looking. What?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that looks so cool.
And I want to do one of the X-Men Hellfire Gala outfits. I want to do one of them.
There are some beautiful outfits for that.
They
whole
are.
stuff, yeah.
So,
Like
there was
that
a few
recent
people
stuff.
at
Is it like from the recent stuff, like the one you talk about with the what's the comic called? I think it's called The Fall of X right now.
yeah.
It's like a recent one I just seen.
Yeah, so I saw a few people that did it last year at Dragon Con. They did like the first version of those characters. So I saw Iceman, Cyclops, Gambit, and Colossus.
I ain't gonna lie, Colossus been looking pimp. Like,
That's
I've been
who I
liking
want
his
to do.
looks. Yeah.
I either want to do Colossus, I want to do like the full makeup and everything,
That'd be pretty
or I'll do Bishop. One of those two.
There's been some really cool iterations of Bishop. I kind of dig, which is the recent comic stuff right now called The Fall of X.
Right.
The Bishop look he's got right in this. I really dig what they did with that one. Like I know he's still hanging out with Cable, and Cable for the most part looks about the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the direction they went with this Bishop. I think it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's
looks, and
really
plus
nice.
the way they're using his powers was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. But yeah, Bishop was a character. I remember. Oh, when was it? I think it was Days of Future Past. I think it was. Excuse me. It was my friend Amanda and I were going to go to Universal because they have the theater in City Walk. Because she lived closer to that, so I was like, "I'll meet up with you there," and then I could park for free and stuff like that. And so we were gonna plan on going in there looking like some kind of someone that's from the mutant community, right? So she was gonna do something where like there was little sparkles and designs in her face, and then I was gonna do like how Bishop had the M on his face.
Yeah.
I did that. Okay. And I mean, that was pretty much it. I didn't do anything extra. But the only sad part was when we got there, unbeknownst to us, their policies is you can't just be having stuff on your face and stuff. And we were both, like, I was sad. She was pissed. I mean, she was pretty livid. She's like, oh, you got people with face paint all the time and this and this and that inside the park. So it's like... whatever. I just went to the bathroom, did my best to take the stuff off my face. I mean, I still got a photograph. I think I only really got one photograph now that I think about it. But I was like, I wanted to go in there with the concept of like, because that's what the M was branding mutants in the future of the one comic. And that's why Bishop has it, because he was branded that way. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was almost all the mutants that got caught in the future were branded. And so that was what I was trying to do, was like act like I was a mutant that was caught from the future and I was branded and stuff. And hers was beautiful. Like she does like kind of some makeup paint. I know the boyfriend she had at the time actually worked both Disney and Universal.
Okay.
To do face painting in the parks. So that's another reason she was mad. She's like, "Oh, but you got this and that, I'm like, "Hey, what are you gonna do, Like I actually had a buddy and I lost contact with him. We had an idea about going to Universal within maybe this month or something, or maybe next month, and go in as early in the morning as we could. He was going to do Gambit. I was going to do my Professor, and I think he had two other people. One that was going to do Rogue or whatever, and then we were going to go into Islands of Adventure, go straight to the Marvel area as early as we can, knock out a few photographs, and then peace out. And I already talked to a couple of the security peeps, and so far, like, just so long you ain't covering your face and you don't look too 100% of the character and all that. I know one lady was like, to be honest with you, you can come in kind of regular, get in, and then hit up one of the bathrooms, change up, boom, take y'all's pictures, and then that's it. Like, because I was explaining my chair. She's like, yeah, maybe if you didn't have the suit and tie, like you just came in regular clothes, because they're not going to deny you entry. That's your chair. You're not going to get denied entry, even though that chair looked yellow. It's still your chair. But then when you get in, you could just dress in one of the bathrooms real quick and then go out and do some photographs. So I was trying to make sure I didn't step on any toes and stuff like that. So I gave him that heads up, and then I told him, hey, if need be, with you guys, I was like, I easily got tickets, so it's not like we can't go in for free. We can meet up somewhere and carpool in my truck to park for free too if y'all want. So at least it was going to be an easy transition. But so far, I lost contact with him. I hope that didn't happen, but so far he was thinking something was weird with his account the last time he was communicating with me. And he was wondering if maybe he was getting hacked. So hopefully he didn't get hacked, but I lost contact with him. I haven't been able to speak to him in a bit.
Hate that.
It's been weird. Like, I've been hearing and seeing that so many people got their stuff hacked and all this. I'm like, I mean, on me, I guess I'm lucky. I mean, I do have my certain things to make sure certain stuff don't happen. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. So I've been trying to sell a lot of stuff. And one person was like, hey, I'll sell you the money and then send someone over to pick up tomorrow for a thing. And I'm like, all right, And I was like, I don't have a phone number because the thing only has the email. He's like, all right. So I give him the email. And he's like, all right, so you're going to check the email and see what it says. And but the way I got it set up is I'll get an email from my bank account, because my Zelle is from them. So it's the bank that's telling me what's up, not anything else. It's just the bank. So when I see the email, I'm like, this don't look like it come from my bank. And I'm like, hey, man, are you sure you sending me what you saying you sending me? He's like, yeah. They already pulled from my account. You just got to go to that email and follow some instructions. I'm like, with all due respect, I don't need to follow any instructions, because it's my bank that's going to tell me that I received money or not. And my bank ain't told me nothing. And he insisted. He's like, oh, no, but, they did take my money. You just got to follow the instructions. I'm like, I ain't touching nothing, bro. I'm sorry. So I don't know what you're trying to play at, but it ain't going to be with me. And so, so that didn't fly. And then there was one other person that was talking about hey, can you text me? And I was like curious. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and text. I want to see where this goes. Because there are times I'm like, I want to know how it tries to roll, So sure enough, they're like, hey, can I send you a thing with a security code so I can make sure it's you for my safety? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm over here saying local pickup. You go come to my house and you talk about safety? Excuse me. So sure enough, after I said something to that person, right? I had checked my email and I had like 6 emails from my Facebook saying, hey, here's your code if you wanted to reset your password. So that means that's someone trying to reset my password to get my stuff. And I'm like, nope, that ain't me. So I try to find out, making sure that that Facebook was aware that that wasn't me requesting it. So I sent that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, they tried. They tried. They definitely tried. Like the last time I heard somebody got their YouTube taken, it was like they said, all right, so they took it and then they made everything look like it was all about Elon Musk. Like they put his picture on the thing. They put these videos. Like they took out all my videos and they put these videos of some Elon Musk stuff. And I'm like, why would someone put just random stuff of Elon Musk? Like I was like, I couldn't get it. Like I didn't get it. I'm like, I don't see what the goal is there, but whatever. You know, I guess maybe to build revenue and have it go to them, maybe or something like that. I know I've been very lucky on my YouTube. I got now. Let me double check. I am currently at 352 subs.
Hey,
I'm getting there, little by little, slowly
love
growing.
to see it.
So I'm very happy that the last 2 videos popped off pretty good. Like I had one very important one from this guy Goose that I follow, and he was talking about mental health and stuff like that. And the way he said it, I was like, you know what? I think that's probably one of the best ways to just say it straight up. And I took that and I put it into the channel, and sure enough, there was plenty of people like, thank you for this, thank you for that. You know, I needed this or whatever. And like I pinned my comment, I said, look, you know, I look at this at least once every few times because I can't thank Goose enough for saying this. You know, it helps me keep on the right track too. You know, because I don't see myself as that much as a person that has anything to really put me down the wrong path of, you know, the unfortunates. Let's say it that way. But it's not like it's not bad to hear too every once in a while a good message of like, you know, you don't need to be clocking out that soon. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you're here for a reason and stuff like that. So I was like, I needed to put that out there. Like I felt like I wanted to have that out there. And then luckily, as a palate cleanser, I put something funny after that. Like the next, I think it was like the next 2 days, I put something funny, and that video popped off. I was like, oh my god. Like people really like that one, and I was very happy that people dug that one. And yeah, so little by little, like I have certain things that I've been slacking on though. I'm not gonna lie, because one of the things that was like kind of a goal was, see, I play World of Warcraft, but for all the other content creators that are out there, I mean, I don't want to say that it's a straight up saturation of content for that game, but there technically is, right? So the way I wanted to approach it was something that I haven't seen yet, and so far I haven't, and it was one of those like, so somebody will play the game and they kind of read certain things here and there, and they just do these quests and stuff like that and whatever. Most of them were like just the one dude that was chilling on his stream or whatever, right? On my case, the direction I was taking it was, I want to legitimately set it up as a true portion of a story that you can follow along if you wanted to, but if you just wanted to listen, you could. I was trying to put it at a audible style, so for someone, let's say they're driving a long commute to work, right? As an example, they could pop one of my videos on and listen to the story, because the game will have its voiceover work on certain spots. You know, the character says this and that character says that. And then they said, okay, now there's this quest. There's a lot of information and things in the quest that I feel is important, right? And so what I did with the video, so people can follow along if they want to read it, I blow up the window of the quest so people can see it clearly, and if they wanted to read along. But then I try to do my voiceover work because I've been always liking voiceover work. Like, I think it's a cool. It would be a cool thing if I could do it in general. Get like a job to do voiceover work. But I said this will be my opportunity to like build my skill, like build towards getting better at it. To also produce maybe some different voices, maybe here and there. And then have use this almost like a portfolio. Like if anybody wanted to see some of my work, you know, I got something. And so that's the direction I was going. Like, so one of the last ones I did was dealing with the orcs. There was a new heritage armor. So you had to do this quest line that you had to do this and that and this. And then so far out of all the ones I did, that one came out the best. I think I did one voice that I really loved the way it came out. So I was trying to do all these voices for that. And I fell off for a bit now because my account stopped. I didn't have money to keep paying, but I did have because I've been playing it technically for free because they got like gold in the game and you could buy like a little token, and then the token itself is like worth a month's subscription. So I've been kind of doing that, but also there's been a few things that been going on that has been taking me away from thinking I would have enough time to play. So I didn't want to like spend that gold, get it, and then not really utilize enough time with it and not build up, let's say, enough gold to buy the next token or something like that. So I kind of backed off, took a break, but it's like I know I want to get back on that. So that way, like I said, I can provide something that on one hand, let's say there's people that they don't want to play World of Warcraft. They don't want to buy the subscription and all that. That's cool. But they still want to know what's going on. I would like to provide that in a nice, consumable way where they can not just have to look at it, but they'll also hear it. Like I said, it's
Right.
like almost like an audible. Like I would love to provide that. And that's the last thing. Like they just dropped a few things for this undead race. And they have their own heritage armor, so there's like a story to deal with that, and they're touching on a few things. Like I would love to do that one because I think some of those voices might be a little easier than certain ones I've done because they're not as crazy. But yeah, like that voiceover work, I really hope that I could pop off on that. Maybe later on I could do a commercial. That's my goal. Is like I just want to do a commercial.
Yeah.
Let me do a commercial. I'll be all right with that. Just to see that commercial pop up here and there, you know what I'm saying? Since everybody wants advertisement everywhere, you know, that's the other thing.
That's
I might
true.
as well be able to be heard at least that way. Is there anything like if you don't mind me asking you, what do you do for work?
So I work in collegiate athletics, specifically post college football or postseason college football. I'm in the college football bowl business, and here in Memphis we have the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and I work. And my title is, my title is sales and marketing manager. So that is my field. Basically, I studied sports management too. So I got, fortunately, I have a degree in my field.
Oh, cool. So that's like, so how long you been doing that? Like
3 years.
3 years on that.
Mm-hmm.
So far for the position, right? That's 3 years. And then before that was everything you were still dealing with the area.
Before that, I was at the University of Memphis, and this is before COVID, because I got this job now like 2 weeks before COVID started.
Oh wow!
And before that, I was at the University of Memphis for a few months, and before that, I was in school getting my master's. So like after I got my master's, I kind of took like a break. Just want to like live life as much as I can, and then
I hear that.
a few months later, started working at the U of M, and then uh, 2 weeks before COVID was when I got the job right now.
Okay. Okay. So everything's been flying pretty cool, right? You enjoying it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's getting busier now that we're getting towards the end of college football or the end of the regular season in college
Okay.
football. So things are kind of like ramping up on my end.
So is that where most of the activity is when stuff's about
hmm
getting done?
Yeah, so like December is when it's like go time for all of us because that's when we announce the teams who play in our game, and
Okay.
basically we try to set up everything by then, make sure everything is finalized for all of our events that we have for when the teams come in, for when we have our game on game day, and yeah, that's pretty much it. In December, it's just basically go time 24/7.
That sounds like fun, though. It sounds cool.
It's fun,
Yeah.
it's stressful, but it
It's
all pays
stressful.
off in the end. And I'm putting emphasis on the stressful part.
Hey, but sometimes if it's still something you really want to do and you love, that
Yeah.
stress is worth it because at the end,
hmm
what fruit you bear is always, great. But that's
Yeah.
cool, man. That's really cool. So it all entails of getting everything prepared for all the events and the athletes themselves, like when it comes to
hmm
like how their
Yeah.
conditions and all that, like making sure they're in
hmm
good shape and all that.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I've been following. I mean, I was never a sports person myself, but it was like for example, I used to live in New York and never cared about sports
hmm
as it pertained to watching it or anything like that. But I was very active back then. Like back then, I used to play basketball. I had a great shot at my shots were just beautiful. And then once I came to Florida, that kind of started going downhill. Like, because in New York, I play ball in a more technical way. And then
hmm
when I came down to Florida, everybody wanted to be physical. So,
Yeah.
like, I want to say after maybe a couple of months of being here, I remember one time I was playing ball. Someone shot a shot that ended up being a brick. It hits the rim, goes up. I go towards the rim to get for a rebound, and the other dude came in an angle, full blast, jumped up, hits me in midair,
hmm
turns, puts me sideways, and I go full weight right on my ankle.
Oh.
And I don't sprain it, I break the ankle. And I'm like, oh, that felt so weird too. Like, because I had the foot sideways and I picked it up and I put it like that, and I felt like my whole foot moved. Like
hmm
it was a weird sensation. Like once it popped, because all I felt was a pop, and then I didn't really feel pain, but I knew I wasn't in a good spot. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
ain't, luckily there was like for where it happened, I was like right across the street. There was like a medical thing that helped me out. But
hmm
once I healed up, oh hey, come on, come here. This is my buddy Dominic. This is what I was telling you about. That's my buddy Roy.
Hey, what's up? How you
Let me
doing?
see.
Nice to
Let me
meet
see. Let
you.
me see if you're in the camera. Hold on. Oh, you're barely in the camera. Get in the chair. You want to get in the chair? Yeah, this is the one I was telling you about. He came back. He came back to live with me and stuff like that.
Am I focused?
Are
Yeah.
you in focus? Focus.
There you go.
There he is.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
That's like one of the things for him. I hopefully we get at least one day to drag him into MegaCon with me.
hmm
And so far the goal would be like he was thinking about doing something like Viking style. So we got like some stuff lined up. Hopefully we can get the opportunity to dress him up like a Viking and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my bro. He's been with me since, man. We were talking about it the other day. I was like,
Since high school, I think. Yeah,
it
high
was
school.
ninth grade I was in.
Yeah, they moved me. Yeah, they moved me to ninth
Yeah,
grade, like
and they
right
put
after
because he came from the Netherlands, so
hmm
obviously school's so much different. So they ended up aiming it where they put him in ninth grade, and I happened to be in ninth grade too. And I remember we were sitting down not that long ago. We were rethinking certain things, and we were like, I really don't know how the hell we became friends.
Right.
Like I just don't know. I don't know what it was that we did. What was the first? I do recall like my one friend Sam introduced me to him because I think Sam met you first, but he knew me, and then introduced us. And then from there it was like, all I remember from there on out, we've been just boys, and that's it. And like he's been my best friend to the point where I consider him my brother for real. Like I think he is like family, you know.
Basically, yeah.
Because we've been through thick and thin, anyways. He's been some of the people that helped me through some of the hard times and stuff like that. But then he had something hard, and I was right there to help out, make sure, you know. And we've been pretty much watching each other's backs for quite a while. And I've been very fortunate to have a friend like him. And I was telling Dominic, like, he's one of the top people that have been
Before I get emotional.
You gonna get emotional too? Yeah, I was getting emotional too. I was telling Dominic, like, he's one of the top people I've met that's just been such a great addition to my life through all the people that I managed to meet in MegaCon and stuff like that. So
that's how you guys met through Comic-Con?
Yeah, the MegaCon where I first met him. Which, now that I think about it, what was the cosplay you had when we first met?
Was it Gambit, I think?
Was it?
I feel like it was because it was 2022, right, where we first met.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Mm.
You were Gambit at the time. Yeah. Gambit. Yeah, I was telling. We were just talking about too, like how I missed out because he also did a Rogue on the Saturday. I was doing the stuff for James McAvoy, and I missed out on trying to get a picture of that. Do you think you're gonna knock out Rogue for this year if you show up?
Maybe.
But that's another thing. I need to get with you anyways to see what your plans are, and you know, and so we can hook up and just fucking hang out and
right. Yeah, we definitely need
dying to take some more pictures with you in general and everybody else. But like that Rogue, I missed out. If you don't do the Rogue, that's cool. But that very next thing right there is, I would love to take a picture with you as Cap. Oh, that'd be awesome to take a picture with you as Cap.
The only thing I kind of say I like want to keep my Cap cosplay here because I don't own the shield. My friend usually lets me borrow his.
Oh yeah.
I'm afraid to ask him like, "Hey, can I borrow your shield out of town?" And because he uses like a collectible item too. Right. So I was like, I don't want to be responsible for it if anything happens to it, especially if it like goes through like through the airport and through luggage, because you know people don't care about luggage nowadays at the airport. So yeah, I just like I don't want to like go through all that trouble. So that's one reason why I haven't done like Captain America out of town. I just kind of want to keep that here in Memphis.
Yeah, because like the shield I'm looking at now, by the looks of it, that's pretty much like how the design really looked for the show, right?
Right.
Right. That looks really good. See, this is what I was talking about. Like he's been signing the stuff. He was on this cover right here. And then this is the first time the artist, because this is his friend, first time the artist put him on the cover. So he has been the Captain America. Legit.
I always tell people like technically I'm in the Marvel universe now.
It's canon.
I'm just the Sam Wilson variant at this point.
I tell you what, though, there was a moment that I thought I was going to be able to buy a shield, and it was really good style of the way they constructed that shield. I think it was going to cost me almost $300. I think it was. Like if I had it, legit, I'll bring it for you. You know, like if I had it, I'll let you definitely hang out that whole time with it. I was like, we need to do
appreciate that.
But I wish I had it now. Like I definitely would have hooked you up. Like let's do it. Let's do
appreciate that.
I'll tell you what. You know what would be kind of cool though is if one of the vendors has one and they let you at least hold it, we could take a shots with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did Thor earlier this year down in Mississippi. I had my own Mjolnir hammer, but one of the vendors had Stormbreaker, so he let me
Oh yeah,
pose with
that
it
thing's
for a
cool.
few pictures and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. And it's amazing how many different sizes I've seen of that thing, though.
Yeah.
There's some that are like, they're pretty small, and then there's other ones that are like, okay, this is a decent size. And then you get that one that's like, dang, like that's a big one right there. Sheesh. But like, I think there was only one. It looked like it was gonna be heavy, but it wasn't heavy, luckily.
hmm
But it was so big. I want to say it was like damn near 4.5 foot tall.
Jesus.
It was big. I was like, this is a hell of a hammer. This is a hell of a Stormbreaker.
Yeah. Trust me, I will be better dressed than what I am right now.
No, you ain't got to worry about all that, though. I just
Because
wanted to
I was
have
like,
something on
because I know today was just like testing and
we were talking
catching up.
about
I was just like, for Thursday, I want to actually like kind of look decent. Maybe go with contacts that day if I feel like it.
Oh yeah, well, at least you don't have like certain people where if they have the glasses on and they'll have that glare and you can't see their eyes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I told him like before I got on, I was like, hey man, I went and grabbed one of my like Avengers shirt, but it's kind of tight with my fat ass. Like I'm like, oh no, look at
I was
that.
like, this don't even look like tight on you right now.
It's fitted. This is a 2X and it doesn't feel like a 2X. I unfortunately, I mean, I think I was like I want to say 245, 250 before my back injury as weight went. And then as of now, I think I've gone as high as 280. I think it was the last time I weighed myself. So I am unfortunately gaining weight little by little. It hasn't been quick because my injury was in 2016. So, or 2018. I'm sorry. So 2018 till now, I've gained weight, but it wasn't like fast. So it's not like
Right.
those. So eventually, I just gotta, like right now, life is not really giving me the right options to try to see what I can do. But eventually, I want to get to a point where I can see because I forgot I still got that portable sauna.
Oh, you still got
I
it?
still have that,
Where is
and I haven't hooked it up yet. I would like to do that, which they say is recommended, and it can help lose weight with that. And I figured that would be something that I could do, and then eventually get into trying to pinpoint what type of exercises I could do without injuring myself, because it's not just my back, it's also my neck.
So you're not even.
So if I don't watch, like, let's say an upper body workout the right way, I can ruin the neck, and I think you've seen me already where the neck gets like a discomfort, then it gets pain, and then that pain and discomfort creates a headache, and then I'm worth nothing to nobody. And then I'm sensitive to light and sound at that point because the way the headache's kicking in, like it gets bad. Like I remember one day my brother was so emotional seeing me screwed up because it was like, I just couldn't. All I could do was sit on the couch in the living room and just sit there and cry. And I had the lights off and everything. Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten the ability to just grab some ibuprofen or something like that. Like he was the one that helped me out with that. And it's bad. It's one of those things. Like I am not in good shape. Like my back and my neck can ruin me at any moment. And so it's like that's been the challenge, is thinking about what type of workouts. Like I feel like I could probably do like when it comes to bicep curls and tricep curls and whatnot, and I feel like I could do stuff like that. I don't know if I'll 100% be able to do like a bench. Free weights might be an option. It just depends on how my shoulder blades react with the motion. So it's one of those things, like coming from a person that him and I used to work out. We had routines and stuff like that. We definitely got plenty of tips from professionals on certain things and that. So that's what makes it a little more frustrating, is to be in this condition and know right off the back how many things I can't do.
Right.
To then now try to find out what are these other things I'm going to try. I'd say that I try to do. Like, because I can't just do squats because of my back. So that sucks. So I know I could probably get on that one machine and do like leg curls for my hams, leg extensions. I know I can do that.
So
Like
can't
that's
you,
an option.
Talk to somebody about that, or trying to
Yeah,
figure out these
money
things?
talks to talk. That's the. I mean, you know how tight things are.
Well, you got no insurance?
I've been gonna stop that.
Well,
Because after the fourth time, well, no, it was the fifth time I got denied. So the situation with that, right? So I had the health insurance from a job, right? And at one point, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get with this new primary physician I got over here and try to set some things up. And so she gives me a referral for like an MRI and stuff like that. And eventually I go to try to do that and I get denied. So I'm like, why am I getting denied? And so there was another moment where my stepmom started working with this other doctor that's close to where I used to live in Avon Park. They work at Sebring of Florida, and he's like a back doctor. And so she's like, give me everything you got. So I gave her like this thick folder of stuff. And even with them, I got like, they requested stuff and then I get denied. And every time I'm getting denied. So it was like 5 different times because it was like my stepmom even tried to appeal and it still got denied. And I just got so fed up with the idea that I'm spending all this money on insurance that the one thing that I need is these scans and stuff, right? Just to go to the next step. Like, none of these doctors want to do anything until they got that because they need to know what they're looking at. They need to know what kind of direction they're going to want to go to try to even help me out. And since I've been denied all these times for these stupid scans, I'm like, well, then I'm wasting this damn money on this insurance because I ain't got nothing else they can do. They're not going to do anything else. So I eventually cut the insurance because I was so pissed. I was just like done. Like, I kept my dental like that, but even that went to shit because since things got tight with rent, I haven't been able to just now go visit and do my deep cleaning because I do a deep cleaning and stuff. So it's just been so frustrating on that level of like what I want to do with my health and all that. You know, like my appetite is a lot lower than it was prior to my injury. Like I used to eat a lot. I mean, Roy remembers. I used to throw down. Like we go to like a buffet and stuff, and I'm easily doing 8 plates and stuff. Now it's like I don't really utilize a buffet. I'd probably do like I'll go to Taco Bell and do 2 burritos with the veggies in it, and then or like here at the house I make one thing at the house and I'm good. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I might eat the most is twice at the house, the most. So like it's not like I'm throwing out a lot of food, but it's not like the best of food, but it's not the worst, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just it's sad. It's kind of sad. That's why I was telling you, like, I'm very happy I had a character I can do. You know, like, because I was thinking about cosplay well before. And I had so many different avenues. Like, I was thinking about stuff from the X-Men. I was thinking about stuff from certain other movies. I was thinking about stuff from my video game of World of Warcraft. And I had all these ideas. And then once that injury happened, like, everything went right out the window. And I was so emotionally distraught that I didn't even think about anything. Like, once I had that one last surgery and, like, a lot of the pain was dissipating and what I got now is what I'm dealing with. It took a while, and then eventually I sat down, took a deep breath. I actually started thinking, and I was like, you know, I should just do that guy in the wheelchair. The hell am I thinking? You know, at least I got that. I could just be Professor X, because I've been always shaving my head because I never liked my hair. I've been shaving my head since 17 because I hate my hair. Like I wish I could LASIK all this because I'm done with the shaving part too.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's why I was telling somebody I'm a one-hit wonder. I'm just gonna stick to Professor X and that's it. You know. Like I do have an idea for something else, to be honest. I brought it up to a friend of mine that was at SuperCon when I was hanging out with my moms. And I was like, well, if I hit the lottery, I might consider this. And I showed him it was like the Mobius chair from DC. There's a concept of it. I really like the design. And then I could think about with that chair, I could do two different characters technically. Because I could do that other guy that's the new god, which I don't know if his name is Mobius himself or whatever, now that I think about it. But I could do that new god, or I could do when Batman sat on the chair. So that's my way. I feel like that's the only way my fat ass is going to do Batman. Is to sit on this chair. But it's a hell of an elaborate chair. Like, I definitely see that it'll be money. It'll be getting the proper chair for the design, then sitting down and trying to craft and theory craft how this chair can be put together, get the lights and everything. Like, my buddy's definitely interested in it because he likes lighting and stuff like that too. So that's another reason why he's interested, because the outfit too has lights in it. So he wants to see how he would like to help me out with that. So I'll say, hey, dude, if the money comes around, you'll be the first one to know, so we can try to collaborate on making an outfit and making the chair and stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm just Professor Xavier, and that's it.
Like I said, you are my Professor Xavier through and through.
That means a lot, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm so far, man. It's been nice to be Professor, because there was actually, I had like a little semi-interview, which I never did come across, because I might have not looked in the right places, but there was like someone that did kind of an interview with me, and they're like, how do you in real life feel like the ideas of Professor himself and this and that? And I'm like, well, there's a few things that line up now that I understand. Like, he is not a perfect character. Like almost any character, everybody's got their flaws. And I definitely understand his flaws, and I'm very fortunate to know that I don't possess his flaws. So I got the good without the bad when it comes to the character. And I've been applying myself in such a broad way that, like, I've been speaking with more and more individuals of different cultures and backgrounds and stuff like that, that I've been noticing that I'm like a neutral person, right? So there's times like when I don't know anyone, I'm very neutral, because I used to do that in customer service anyways, because I used to work at a grocery store in a deli, and I never really just did the yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am and all that. Hey dude, what's up? Hey girl, I kind of stayed away from that until I knew the person. So like, if it applied to them and we were good, we're good. Because I knew something was going to come around eventually, which it is unfortunate, though, some of the directions it's gone. But like with involving the LGBTQ and how certain people with pronouns and whatnot, I was like, I see what both, like, because I'm not a side person either. Like, but I understand what both sides have been saying. And I do have an understanding of what they've been saying and how they want to approach things. But I've also noticed that neither side is understanding to the point of, like, what would be the best options for the overall, for the betterment and the more, like, respectfulness of everyone. Because I understand where someone's like, oh, I need to be respected or all that, but I was like, yeah, but respect is earned. You don't just get it. And then, yeah, I understand these other people that say, yeah, respect is earned, but it don't mean you need to be an asshole to them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a balance that's being lost between these two sides. Like they're so far apart that they're not realizing their flaws on like, I understand what they're saying, but they have flaws. And then nobody's trying to find that balance for the betterment of everybody's sanity. Let's say it that way. Because there's certain times people lose their shit. And I'm
Yep.
like, yo, we're losing our shits over words. I mean, I even told someone technically most of these words, or all of them are a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need them. Like, and I showed it as an example once, and I can do it with you. Like the whole he, she, they, the, a lot of that is you don't really need it. Like you could be 100% neutral. Like, well, like when it came to my deli, somebody will walk up and I'll say, "Hey, how you doing? How can I help you?" And that person will be like, "Oh, I'd just like to have like a pound of ham." And I'm like, "All right." And I go get the ham and say, "Would you like it thin, thick?" You know, show it to them. Let the person try a piece, and like, hey, there you go. So, but in that dialogue with them, I never once say she, he, or yes sir, yes ma'am. I never said they, them. I would just say, "Would you like?" And then after everything was said and done, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" And they're like, "No, that's cool." And I'm like, "All right, you have yourself a good one."
So is that gonna
And that's
Right.
it. It was 100% neutral. So I could explain to someone this, and you wouldn't know if that person was or was not a female, or was not a male, because it's not important. It's not
Yeah.
important. Like people are putting emphasis on certain things as if it's important, when technically, in the grand scheme of it all, it's not.
Not.
Your gender and how you see yourself and whatnot does not affect if you could do like when it comes to, I was talking to somebody with just physical labor. I do not care about someone's sexual preference, just so long they can pick up that box, put it over there, and there you go. That's the job. You know what I'm saying? And then that's like an accountant. Hey, you did the math right. It don't matter what gender you are, you doing the math. That's it. You know?
Right.
Is the pronouns going to be a mandatory thing at the job places now, or is that going to be like?
Oh, you mean like, well, it depends on the environment. There are places I've heard where, let's say there's one person that has given management an acknowledgement that they would like to be preferred to be called a certain thing,
Right, but
then they'll do that. Like, we had an individual named Giovanni.
as long as you don't have to partake in it.
The Giovanni wanted to be called Gia. Okay. And so this individual, because everything's that's another thing. I treat everybody as an individual. I never look at things as in a broad sense. Like everybody's too broad. And I feel like that's a disrespect to all the individuals. Like, because, for example, I'll give you my brother. He would be possibly in the LGBTQ if it wasn't for the fact of all the disrespect and the hatred he's gotten from said group. Because, like, on one case, we were both like, "You're one of the letters in the damn thing, and yet you got all this hate and stuff. Like, that's not cool." And so he never saw himself. He's like, "I'm still a he, but I never see myself as part of anything else other than that." And then on top of that, I don't see myself part of this group if this is the kind of hate I'm gonna get. And I'm like, I felt sorry for the situation. Like, I wish no one would go through something like that.
I thought they were advertising it just for everybody.
That's the problem.
So that's what
They
they
advertise
advertise
for
it, but
everybody.
they don't follow
I
up on
treat
it.
everybody as individual cases. Like with Gia, we hung out. Like, we worked together and hung out and spoke with one another. And I get to really find out who this person is. Because prior to this person starting, right?
Inside politics.
One of the people from Human Resources came by. We did like a meeting type thing. They say, "Hey, we got this individual. They got their paperwork for their transition. You're gonna say she, not he. This person's gonna be able to go into the female's bathroom." And I'm like, okay, they're just laying out all this info, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
But I'm still gonna talk to this person straight up. Like, I'm going to learn this person. This person and I will interact. And I'm going to find out on my own terms how this person wants to be seen as and all that. Because the company will say one thing, but I'm more importantly thinking about that person as
The person, yeah.
And eventually, Gia and I, we shared a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we were sharing up because, like, Gia may have been a male transitioning to a female, but Gia still liked women. So he was dating a woman that had a daughter, And so we were sharing things and clicked off pretty good because I had my unfortunates with my ex-wife and my child. And so we were sharing how it kind of sucks when there's an ex involved and this and that. And we shared a bunch of stuff and we were cool. And I remember when Gia decided, I guess Gia got like a different job or whatever. Gia pulled me aside and was like, look, I want to thank you for making my whole time here as comfortable and as happy as I think anybody could have made it. And I'm like, look, you're just cool. Like I don't care about your sexuality. We put in the work, and that's it. That's all that mattered. Like I never looked at someone lesser than me or greater than me. We're the same. We're gonna we're gonna work, we're gonna hang. We talked. Like I was very fortunate that you wanted to actually talk with me because that's the way I am. I always feel fortunate that someone would like to share stuff with me, and we were able to talk. And so, like, that's how I am. And so far, every person that I have spoken to who one would assume would be part of said group, with the way they are as an individual, I see them more as an individual than I'll ever see them in part of this group. Because there are those unfortunates from the group that would make the group look bad. And I think that's the part that sucks, too, is the whole group mentality when you got a person from whatever the thing that someone's talking about. Well, if this person did it, that means all of them do it. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Like, no, that's pure disrespect to everyone you just talked about. Like, all these individuals here, everybody's an individual, okay? For you to group them up like that, I feel like that's a disrespect to all of them. You know what I mean? And so I've always tried to work myself into a position where I always am neutral until that person tells me otherwise of how they would want me to like address them and all that. Like, it was most of the time, if I know that person's name too, a lot of times there is no need for any of these filler words anyways. You just say the name. You use the name of the person. That's it. Like, you just use the name of the person. Like, and that's it. And there's certain people, like, I guess they're so stuck in I guess the word would be ideology, right? Like ideology or whatever they are, they get so stuck on it that they're kind of blindsiding themselves almost with like tunnel vision of what all the other applications that they can apply themselves in different way. It got what? Like it got more confused. Yeah, in a way it did get more confusing for certain individuals.
Easy, but I'm just saying, like,
You confuse easy. Yeah, because there are those times where I've seen videos where someone try to explain the certain pronouns or whatever. And I was like, okay, I see your attempt. I applaud your attempt. But out in the real world, no one just knows who you are. Like, there's times I'm like, the only way some of this would work, 100%, really, is if we were like in a video game. Like right now, above my head is my name, my level, which will be my age, and then right underneath that, the whatever the pronoun would be. Like if we all had that, I think we'd be playing this game a little bit better. But unfortunately, it's like some people are playing it as if it's need to be set in stone or something like that. And I was like, I'm sorry, whatever your name is, that's all that matters, because I feel your name is the most important thing to your identity than what you think your identity. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just me on that one. That's the only thing I'm pretty much stuck on. Like I'm speaking as Anthony, but I got two other names. I got Puermero and then I got Professor X. I accept them all. But that's just because of circumstances on that one. But am I pissed if somebody calls me fatty? No. There are things that we take to heart a little too much too. That like, if more individuals did learn to kind of brush it off a little bit, they would actually see the more healthier side of their life that they can have. Because I've noticed that where there were things in my life that I would still get a little bent over and I'd get mad at and stuff like that. And then I noticed that once I started not giving a shit, like I'm not saying I don't give a shit, like I don't care, but once you kind of put yourself, like it's a meh kind of thing, you tend to realize how much less stress, how much less emotion, how much less, like you feel it physically. You know, there's mentally, but you also feel it physically that you're not overwhelming your body with this type of hatred and having your blood boil and stuff like that. And I really hope for a lot of people that they tend to kind of break out of this. Some of them, unfortunately, won't. I'm realistic on that. Some of them, unfortunately, won't. But like, I've been very fortunate that every single person I've met, no matter what side of the of whatever, all these sides and stuff like that. Like I haven't had anybody that doesn't dislike me, and I don't dislike them. Like you do you. That was always me. Like you do you. I mean, you want to dress, you dress. You want to have the makeup, you wear the makeup. I don't give a shit. That's not hurting me. That's the point.
That's the main thing. It's not affecting me in any type of way. So do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's where I do understand when someone would get frustrated when you have that one random person, why you gotta be wearing It's like, shut up. I'm sorry, but shut up. That is not hurting you. The only thing you need to do is not look at it. Like that's like on the internet, it ain't that hard to keep scrolling. You know what I mean? Like when you stop and go out of your way to clickety clack on your keyboard and talk shit, unnecessary shit for the most part, that's you being a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Like, you're going out of your way to say something horrible, because most of the time, that's the sad part. On the internet, it's been very horrible. It's disgusting on the internet. Like, in real life, when I'm out in the streets, everything's been nice. I haven't met, there was, like, what, 1 or 2 encounters of somebody that's kind of cuckoo. Hey, okay.
Well, you know me, so.
Well, yeah. And then when it comes to the internet, though, there's some cuckoos that are like, why are you saying, like, when someone tries to tell somebody to unalive themselves, excuse the hell out of me, but I really think that should be cracked down. Like, that's one of the ones I don't play with. No one should ever tell anyone or, like, a family member that they should unalive themselves. That is just disgusting. Like, that should never happen. Like, and I know these are people that they wouldn't dare say that in person,
no, they wouldn't.
But on the internet, they feel somehow comfortable behind a computer screen. Like,
safer.
What the heck?
It's safer because in their mind, they think there's no repercussions to this shit.
Yes, but that's the problem. It's like, technically, on that level of trying to tell somebody they need to unalive themselves, I really feel like there should be something, at least something. Because that's not cool to tell somebody, oh, I wish your mom unalived herself. Or I wish you unalive. And then, unfortunately, sometimes you never know when someone actually unalives themselves because of that. It's like, what the heck? You know, that's not cool. The whole time.
Hey, and I gotta get going for tonight because I have a really early morning tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, but
hey, man, I appreciate your time. This is I thank you deeply. Hopefully, everything goes well. I'll talk to you for Thursday.
Yes. And let me know if you need any more info from me. I'll be happy to give it to you.
Yeah, eventually when we get close to MegaCon, you let me know what your plans are. That way we can try to hook up and meet up and see what we can do when it comes to photographs and stuff for that. Yeah, I appreciate it. I thank you very much for your time, man.
Yeah, man, thank you, because this was awesome, especially to catch up with you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
all right, man. You have a great night.
You too. Are you focused?
See y'all.
All right, later.